So tonight I wanted to talk about Jodi Arias. Um, I know you guys have heard of her. Her name is all over the media. It's an old case, but it's the one time that I feel sorry for the murderer. And I say that because all of us, whether you want to believe it or not, is one crime away, or we're 1 minute or a second away from just losing it. And Monique actually did a stand-up saying I could be a cellmate. And it's a thin line between love and hate. Some men, they'll take you there. A lot of men that's like on Snapped. That's one of my favorite shows, Snapped. Some of those women, they were crazy and they were killing their husbands for insurance money. But there were cases on Snapped where they were getting abused and the cops weren't doing anything. And the thing about abuse is it literally does something to the brain. Like your brain begins to deteriorate. And naturally, you're going to want to defend yourself. That's just natural. Now, Jodi Arias was not abused by him. However, it is mental abuse to lead someone on, right? I never really thought about it, but it is. If you're having sex with, so this is what happened. So, Tubi, first of all, there's a documentary on Tubi, because there's been documentaries for like years about this girl, but they never spoke about her past life. This one is my favorite one. Like Tubi, y'all awesome. I'm the walking spokesperson for Tubi. I tell everybody I love Tubi because Tubi documentaries, they get into the real. Like with Princess Diana, they talked about stuff that nobody knew about. Like I never knew Diana had depression. I never knew she wanted to kill herself. I never knew she threw herself down the stairs. My father was like, he don't believe that she did. He believes somebody probably threw her down, but I don't know. That's just like with women from the past. They always say, he's like, yeah, they always say that, but I didn't know the issues that Diana had unless for Tubi. And with this documentary for Jodi Arias, awesome. So Jodi Arias was raised by a middle-class family. By age 17, she did move out and move in with her first love. I guess it was like her first boyfriend, first love. He abused her. And luckily, her family stepped in and got her out of that. They didn't just leave her. Once they found out he was putting hands on her, they was like, Jodi, come back home. So she went back home. So her first love, the first man she fell in love with, he abused her. So that was the first thing. Her second relationship, or second serious relationship, was with an older guy. She fell hard for him, and he didn't want to have any children, and he did not want to get married. So that's strike two. And then with this guy, Travis, she fell in love with him. He was a man of God, or so he claimed to be. And he just was everything that a woman wanted. He was successful. He made her feel good about herself. And that's, every woman could relate to that. When a man starts telling you you're smart, you could do anything. When he's telling you just positive things. He was very positive in her life. And she fell in love with that. And all of us could relate to that. And some people might say, well, a beautiful woman like that, how could she fall for him? Listen, it happens. Trust me. It happens to the best of us. So just watching the story from the beginning and even till now, it's like you can't help but feel sorry for her, because yes, she was wrong for what she did, absolutely. But him being a Mormon, that wasn't right either. Like, you having sex with this girl over and over and over again, and you don't even like her. At least have the decency to like her or whatever. The only time you should have sex with somebody outside of a relationship is if the woman also agrees and says, I do not want a relationship. You shouldn't be having sex with a woman and you know she feeling you, you know she's in love with you, you know. So what ends up happening, the movie, the Lifetime movie, shout out to Lifetime, they did an excellent job. So in the Lifetime movie, he actually was dating someone from the Mormon church, and you know, Jodi's like, well, what about me? Like, why is it that you can't be with me? He was like, well, I want to date a girl that's Mormon. So she becomes baptized and he lets her do it. Like, I would never do that. Like, that's, you know, that's not right. So she's thinking they're going to be together. He baptizes her himself. And the documentaries I saw is kind of mixed. Some of them was like he did flaunt her around. So if you flaunt her around your friends, of course she's going to think y'all together. They went on a ski trip together. They took pictures together. They have a lot of pictures together. So she's thinking they're in a relationship when in reality they was not. So they keep sleeping together. He's dating a Mormon girl. So naturally, Jodi's upset. Jodi's angry. Also, she slashes his tires. He's still sleeping with her. So at this point, I can't feel sorry for the victim, because why would you be having, and this is so common with men and women too. If someone is slashing your tires, if someone is popping up at your house, calling you numerous of times, you should not be entertaining them. It's hard to tell them to stop, because I've been there. It's hard to tell someone, oh, you know, can you stop calling me? Because I personally had that fear. And when I told the guy to stop, he threatened me. So I totally get it. It took me years. You know, I met this guy when I was 16. He was 19. And he was just, you know, I have a few stories of men being just obsessive, but the first time I encountered that, you know, I didn't entertain him. I wasn't sleeping with him. I didn't entertain that. So that's why I don't understand with these people. You know, somebody's a little cuckoo. Why would you continuously sleep with them? Why would you engage with, like, it doesn't even make sense. If you have any inkling that someone's crazy, any inkling at all, you discontinue, you know. So I don't know if he was afraid or he just enjoyed taking advantage of her, because this is why he's not here now, because you can't be playing with somebody's emotions like that. It's not right, you know. I've had guys blow up my phone. I'm not gonna, somebody blow up my phone and then I'm gonna meet up with them to hang out or go have sex. Why would I do that? You're supposed to stand firm, you know. As I got older, I realized when someone is stalking you, you call the cops, you know. So now I'm better educated and I know that now. You know, I didn't know you could call the cops if somebody calling you. But yes, that is harassment, guys. My ladies especially. If a guy is calling you and, you know, it's past like 20 times, you need to get the police involved. You know, now sometimes they may or may not do anything, but let that person know who's calling you, hey, if you don't stop calling me, I will call the police. And I had to do that, you know, a few times. You know, most of the time it'll stop on its own, but you do have people that you have to threaten them with the cops. If that's what you have to do, hey, I'm gonna call the cops if you don't stop. You know, and it's unfortunate that you have to do that, but people are crazy out here, you know. So I don't understand from Travis, and may he rest in peace. If this girl is crazy like that, why did you keep entertaining her? Why did you keep sleeping with her? You know, and it's sad. And so the movie depicts how she was there and he receives a text message from a girl and she pretends to be him. And the girl on the other end is like, oh, you said that she's just good for one thing, da da da. So this infuriated her. It would infuriate any woman. Not saying that anybody would have killed him, but imagine, just put yourself in Jodi's shoes. You're in bed, you're in this guy's bed, he's in the shower. Y'all just finished having sex. His cell phone goes off. You're looking through his phone. Me personally, I don't do that. But let's say you do. You look through his phone and you see a text message of him talking about you in a negative way. That's gonna make anybody angry. Like, she just finished having sex with him and she's like, what, you're talking about me? You're telling people that I'm only good for one thing? Like, that's embarrassing, humiliating, and hurtful. So, and she went through that before with him. So this is over and over and over again occurrence, and she snapped, you know. Also, what made her go to jail also is because she lied and it was premeditated. If it wasn't premeditated, she probably would have had a lesser sentence. But the reason why I say she deserves what she got, for the simple fact, if I was in a jury, I would feel sorry for her. But the reason why I can't, at the same time, I can't feel sorry for her, because why you lied on the man and said he was abusing you? Why you do that? Why you stole your grandparents' gun, which that's a crime right there, stealing a firearm. And then on top of that, you stabbed him and you shot him. It don't take all that. I could understand the stab, but you shot him too? That's just vicious, you know? So it's like, yes, she deserved the punishment because of, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I'm very big on that. And I'm very big on lying. She lied. She lied and said that he was abusing her. And they found out that was not true. And then it's premeditated. And then you stole from your grandparents. You don't steal from grandma. You know. So, and it's like watching the movie and watching a documentary, you can't help but to feel sorry for her. But then you're lying on the dead. I don't like that. You don't lie on someone, you know, and say, oh, he's abusing you. Especially when you've been abused. That's the thing. And it makes me think, her first relationship, she was being abused. Did her family actually watch her be abused? Or did she make that up too? It makes you really think. And also, I would like to know, what is her diagnosis? Because if you sit down and talk with this girl, she's very manipulative. She's a singer. She draws. She sang Oh Holy Night in jail. She's making money in jail. She's very manipulative. Like, what's her diagnosis? One of the therapists on a documentary said that she's a narcissist. I don't feel like she's a narcissist. I don't feel that. I feel like it's something else. Because if you sit down and talk to her and the interviews and stuff, she really doesn't believe that she did it. Like, she thinks she's innocent. So that's something else. Like, she's in deep denial. You know. So, yeah. So all my fellas out there and ladies, you know somebody feeling you and you're not feeling them, end it. Don't engage. Don't be spending somebody, especially with my ladies. Don't be spending a man money and you know you're not feeling him like that. Don't do that, because if it happens to you, you wouldn't like it. Somebody use you for your money, you would not like it. Right? Fellas, y'all doing that. Y'all using a chick for money. Think about your future daughters and nieces, and would you want somebody to do that to your mother, your sister, your nieces, your cousins? So don't dish out what you can't take back. You know, treat others the way you want to be treated. It's sad how it ended with Jodi Arias, but that's a classic example of leading somebody on and what somebody could do. You know, now some people, they become infatuated. You only gotta sleep with them but one time, and they become infatuated. You got people like that too. Or you don't have to sleep with them at all, and they become infatuated. So I'm not sitting here saying you gotta sleep, but because I've been on both sides, so I totally get it. You ain't gotta sleep with someone for them to go crazy. Crazy people are just crazy. But don't put fuel to the fire, right? At least if someone's crazy and you didn't do nothing, then that makes sense. But don't sleep with someone on Saturday and then Sunday they slashing your tires and you wondering why. Right? Don't do that. Right? Those are my thoughts.